New tonight at 10, legislation geared toward whether or not your third grader is on reading level is in full effect in Tennessee. Back in January of 2021, state lawmakers created a new policy around the third grade. If students don't meet the required reading level, students may have to repeat the grade. WSMV's Danielle Jackson joins us here in studio with educators' thoughts on this new policy. DJ.
Marius, this legislation is very concerning for some educators, especially because of the learning loss Tennessee students experienced during the pandemic.
I think a lot of parents and families are going to be extremely caught off guard.
Sarah Morrison is a third grade teacher in Nashville. She disagrees with a new state law that could potentially have thousands of third graders repeat their grade if they don't pass the English and language arts portion of the TCAP test.
A lot of the reasons why maybe a student wouldn't pass that test is something that is far out of their control. And so I don't think that it is very fair or appropriate.
Learning loss during the pandemic is another reason why this third grade teacher says something like this shouldn't be enforced upon students' performance in the classroom.
So really their first full regular school year was last year, their second grade year. And so there are a lot of gaps and holes, and to put that pressure on them that they need to be passing a third grade test when they might still have some additional learning that needs to be filled in over the next couple of years. Like I said, I don't think that it's fair.
We pulled last school year's ELA TCAP test scores from third graders in Davidson County. More than 70% of third graders' test scores in the county were either below or approaching. If the same metrics were applied to the new law, it shows the high number of students that could possibly be left behind. It's important to note that these TCAP scores reflect all subjects and not just literacy. Fran Bush, MNPS school outgoing board member for District 6, says,
one of the things that I was a little concerned about, or should I say a lot to be concerned about, is if parents are paying attention.
There should be more communication for the parents' sake.
They have not pretty much pushed the envelope on this, making sure that it stays in giving the parents this. If your child is not reading on third grade level, after they take the TCAP and they do not pass or they do not meet proficiency, then they will retain their students.
Non-native English speakers, students with certain reading disabilities, and students who have already been held back aren't included in the new policy.
So, DJ, it's blowing my mind. 72% of the kids aren't at that level. So let me ask you this. What happens if a third grader fails that test?
Marius, the answer to that question is twofold, because if a third grader has a approaching score, then they'll have to attend a learning loss bridge camp, maintain a 90% attendance, and then demonstrate growth after taking a test at the end of the camp. Now, if a third grader has what's called a below score, then they will also have to attend the learning loss bridge camp and maintain a 90% attendance, and then participate in the state's Accelerating Literacy and Learning Corps in the fourth grade.
Danielle Jackson, thank you. Keep an eye on this one.